Na mtazamaji, kama tulivyoweza kukuarifu tulipokuwa tumeanza taarifa hizi za Nipashe, ni kwamba tutaweza kurejea moja kwa moja hadi ukumbi wa kitaifa wa sanaa ambako kwa sasa naarifiwa ya kwamba Rais Uhuru Kenyatta anahutubia umati. Wacha tuende tukasikize mawili matatu ambayo yanao ya kutueleza.
Shere Mogo, fellow Kenyans, indeed let me say that today I'm a very happy man and indeed very proud to be presiding over another successful product of the partnership that we started between the private sector and my government. Today, we are happy because the groundbreaking initiative that we have seen in the arts and culture sector, but more importantly also the fact that it is one of our Kenya at 50 legacy projects. We decided, as the Minister had said, that rather than spend huge amounts of money on celebrations, we chose to say, let us partner with the private sector to see if we could initiate a number of legacy projects that would outlive us and that would help us all remember and walk through the path of the last 50 years. I want to take this opportunity, first and foremost, to really appreciate the contribution of Kenya Breweries Limited to this particular project. Indeed, without a doubt, in partnering with Kenya at 50, Kenya Breweries has moved beyond mere corporate social responsibility into the arena of corporate patriotism. And I urge many more companies to emulate this exemplary trend and indeed partner with government for the sake of our people's well-being. The Kenya Cultural Center has for many decades suffered neglect, leading to wastage of its facilities, including the National Theatre here. The decline reached a point where artists had to seek refuge in other facilities, often straining those as well. The labor of creating, of practice and performance was exasperated by the constant need to shop for venues. And often alternative venues were not ideal and ultimately could not attract audiences in numbers needed to meet our artists' expectations. This has made performing arts over a long period a most unrewarding labor in Kenya. This particular situation was also not helped, and excuse me also for saying, by official attitudes which sometimes tended to treat creative artists with suspicion and contempt, largely born of ignorance and a paralyzing dogmatism. For this, I must say pole for all the neglect, misunderstanding, and ignorance which held back Kenyans' deserved creative dominance and denied our people the chance to experience arts and culture at its finest, and undoubtedly at the end resulted in the wasting of very many careers. Even so, it is important to acknowledge those who did their best under difficult circumstances with little or no official and corporate support. There are those also who had to flee our country so that their artistic expression could thrive. And once again today, it is with pleasure that we welcome two of them, Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o, Professor Shere Mogo, back on the scene. These artists and many more are the vanguard of Kenya's recent artistic resurgence. Both Ngugi and Mishere no longer have to live abroad to be the best they can be, and we hope that no other Kenyan need live abroad to be the best that they can be. Indeed, I believe he told us the last time he was here, he was a guest of the state in some very uncomfortable situation. This time he's also a guest of the state, but I hope in much more comfortable accommodations than he was last time. Under the KBL Kenya at 50 legacy projects, public-private partnership, I hope that we have not only refurbished and modernized the physical amenities of the Kenya Cultural Center, but also restored the creative space, an atmosphere conducive to making this the region's foremost center of excellence in the performing arts, especially theater. Theater, without a doubt, is a great space where talent, innovation, vision, enterprise, freedom of thought, and expression intersect. This intersection gives society an opportunity to examine itself, criticize itself, admire itself, understand itself, laugh at itself, teach itself, and move itself forward to a higher, better, social, political, and moral plane. Theater also gives our young performers the chance to learn the ancient craft at the feet of many legends. Today, I pay tribute to all of them, from Mama Tofi of years gone by, Mama Kayai, Mzee Athman Kipanga, Mzee Opembe, Wahome Mutahi, Goge Wadhiongo, who is here, and also the late Mzee Ojwang, whose talents and energy is so sadly missed today. Kenyan theater has grown and shown potential to grow even more into a multi-billion shilling global platform, and indeed, as the saying now goes, a hotbed of superstars and big icons. Our youth are teeming with irrepressible ideas and creative energy. In every available space, they are staging or practicing skills and acrobatics, beating drums, dancing, singing, and generally showing every indication of wanting to explode into a glorious bloom of brilliant art. I did pledge in our manifesto that we would provide strong support for arts and culture, and that we would move to restore the Kenya Cultural Center, and indeed move forward to put up an international arts center. The relaunch of the facility today is just but a demonstration of our intent and the beginning of our quest to make Kenya the region's hub for creative and performing arts and culture. Our new culture and policy bill is now ready, while the film policy and music policies are also being finalized. These policies and the legal frameworks are purely intended to support Kenya's creative community. Through them, we want to realize the promise of our Constitution's fundamental rights by showcasing the beauty of freedom through arts and culture. And to this end, it is my promise that the era of repression, paranoid censorship, and the stifling of expression is indeed gone forever. It is now time for art to lead. This is the philosophy behind my government's initiatives in the arts and culture sector. A concept paper for my government's plan to put up an international arts and cultural center is ready, and through it we will create a center of excellence with facilities and programs to support diverse forms of artistic endeavor, and the center will come complete with a dome capable of seating 5,000 people for hosting large performances. Today our journey, I believe, is just beginning, or shall we say restarting, and together I believe we are going far and we shall accomplish a lot along the way. Finally, in conclusion, I am not aware whether Kamiredo Cultural Center is still banned. But Professor, if indeed it is, then we shall unban it if it is. If it is. And secondly, I look forward to you inviting me to come and watch my Tojugera whenever it is that you shall be performing here. So you are most welcome, and like I said, we start a new chapter and we bring a close to the past. As I say, we can never live in the past, but we can work together for the future. Let me conclude by saying that this piece of land we have agreed with Matiang'i and Swazuri, this land had been grabbed, so the chairman of the National Land Commission and the Minister of Land have promised me that within the next 2 weeks you will get your title deed back so that we can begin to work on our new International Arts and Culture Center. With those few remarks, I say thank you, and once again thank you Kenya Breweries, thank you Kenya Red 50, thanks to all of those who have worked very hard to make this day a reality, and once again I thank our guests for accepting our invitation and agreeing to come and join us on this great day of relaunching theatre back in Kenya. God bless you. Asanteni sana.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa.